You may know that to win asylum, you have to show that the harm is motivated by the fact that you possess one of the 5 protected characteristics under US asylum law. But some cases are not that simple, right? The motivations of the persecutors can be difficult to figure out, or they may be targeting you for multiple reasons. The good news is that you can still win, even in these so-called mixed motives cases, where there are multiple reasons for the harm, including one or more motivations that have nothing to do with a protected ground. In this video, I'm going to explain how this works and tell you what you need to know if the bad guys have indicated that they're motivated to harm you for reasons other than your race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or membership in a particular social group. I'll unpack it all for you, and we're starting right now. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, my law firm helps immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Let me know in the comments if you've got an asylum case pending, or maybe you're considering applying. And listen, I'd especially like to hear from you if you've been waiting for an asylum interview for multiple years. Let me know in the comments how long you've been waiting. Here's the truth. Many asylum seekers mistakenly give up on legitimate cases because the persecution looks messy. They think, the gang just wanted my money, so it's not political. Or maybe my neighbor just wanted my land, so it's not about my religion. As an asylum officer, I saw applicants focus entirely on things like money demands or property disputes, things that don't bear on a protected ground. They barely mentioned that the persecutors also called them traitors to the country, for example, or maybe used religious slurs or targeted them because of their political party. Now, these cases, they get denied because the officer concludes that, this sounds like a personal dispute. It doesn't have anything to do with a protected characteristic. There's no nexus to a protected ground. Now, let me tell you about a legal concept that could save your asylum case. It's called mixed motives. And understanding this could be the difference between winning and losing. Now, here's what mixed motives means. You don't need to prove that the only reason that someone harmed you or that they will harm you in the future is that you possess one of the 5 protected characteristics. You see, the law actually says the protected ground just needs to be one central reason for the persecution. Let me say that again because it's critical. One central reason. Now, that means that even if the gang wanted your money, but they decided to make you a target in the first place for their extortion scheme because of your political opinion, you can still win asylum. Yes, it's true that they were mainly in it for the money, for personal enrichment. But, if they decided to come after you because you support the wrong political party, you could still win asylum. Or even if your neighbor really just wanted your land, but the violence escalated because of your religion, for example, you have a case. You see, the asylum officer is not looking for pure motives. They're looking for whether a protected ground was a significant factor in why you were or will be harmed. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for asylum success, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. All right, let me give you 3 specific real-world examples of how mixed motives can work in asylum cases. I hope you pay attention because one of these might sound like your situation. Okay, first example, the land dispute in India. Let's say that you're a Muslim or Christian family and you get into a property boundary dispute with your Hindu neighbor, and it starts as a simple civil disagreement over where the fence should go. Now, this neighbor realizes he can't win in court, so what does he do? He mobilizes a local nationalist group by claiming that you're using the land to slaughter cows, which offends these extremist Hindus. Now, the mob attacks you not because of the fence line, really, but rather because of your faith. They're shouting religious slurs during the attack, and the police, they refuse to intervene because of your religion. You see how the motive shifted here from personal to protected? This kind of case works. This will be a viable claim with a nexus to your religion. Okay, second example, forced conscription by Boko Haram in Nigeria. Let's say you're a young Christian man and Boko Haram raids your village. They kidnap you and they tell you that you must convert to their version of Islam and fight with them. On one level, they just need soldiers. They really just want to grow their ranks so they'll become more powerful so they can enrich themselves further. Now, that's more of like a military strategy, right? Not a protected ground. But when you refuse based on your Christian faith and they beat you and torture you and call you all kinds of names, with a clearly religious bent to them, well, at least one central reason for the severity of the mistreatment is your refusal to submit to their religious authority, and you're being punished for your religious identity. So that's the protected ground, religion. Okay, third example, blackmail targeting a gay man in the Middle East. Let's say you're a closeted gay man and a criminal ring discovers your sexual orientation. They demand money. And here again, the motive looks purely financial, but the leverage they're using is your sexual orientation. And they threaten that if you don't pay, they'll torture you and out you to the religious police or to your tribe, which could result in your death or imprisonment. So the criminals are motivated by money, yeah, but they're weaponizing your membership in a particular social group. And when the police or family act on that information, the persecution is entirely based on your sexual orientation. Okay, now let me tell you how to prove the protected ground in your case where there are clearly other factors at play, because this is where most asylum seekers fail at their interview. The single most important evidence is what the persecutors said while they were harming you. I can't stress this enough. Their words often reveal their motivation. Did they call you a traitor to the motherland while demanding the money? Did they use religious slurs while fighting over the land? Did they tell you that people of your political party don't deserve to own businesses? Did they say that your kind doesn't belong in this neighborhood? So write down exactly what they said and then be ready to repeat this at your asylum interview. The words can prove the nexus. Now, if they didn't say it so explicitly, well, look at who else they target. Do they only extort members of the opposition party? Do they only kidnap Christians? Do they only attack Christians or Muslims? Do they specifically target gay people for blackmail? That's what we call circumstantial evidence, showing the protected ground. And you've got to bring that to the fore in your testimony at your asylum interview. Look, don't walk into the asylum interview and only talk about the money or the land dispute, right? If you do that, the officer will think it's just a personal matter or a criminal act with no connection to a protected ground. You have to pivot the story. Yes, they asked for money, but they also said that people of my party are enemies of the state. Yes, it started over land, but it became religious persecution when they mobilized the mob based on my faith. The officer needs to see both motives with clear emphasis on the protected ground. Let me be clear, I'm not telling you to make anything up. I'm telling you to tell the whole story. Don't leave out the protected ground just because other motives were involved. If you got a case where money, personal disputes, or criminal gangs maybe are part of the picture, don't give up, okay? Mixed motive cases are winnable if you present them correctly. A skilled asylum lawyer who knows how to find the nexus and present your case strategically, well, they can help you to make this crystal clear to the asylum officer. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then please call my office today. That number is 713-909-0401. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you live. Call us right now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's truly an honor to support you in your asylum journey.